fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Houston Texans and the Jacksonville Jaguars. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line.
The Jaguars take over 1st and 10 at their own 26-yard line.
Let's go. Defense is getting good. Defense. You go tight. You got tight.
On 1st down, Swift. He's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. The success there, Charles, coming on the outside of the field, the ground game. Curious to see if that continues as we progress.
Yeah, we often talk about a variety in play calling and usually between run and pass. But in this case, with strictly the run game, you can be creative there as well. Run it inside, run it outside, keep the defense off balance. Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Third play of this opening drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 3. From the gun, here's Brissett. And he completes it to the tight end, Knox. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Well, they were in search of a short gain on 3rd down, and they wind up nabbing over 20 yards.
1st and 10 at the 46-yard line.
So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 46. They'll run on 1st down. Swift. That's back-to-back plays of over 20 yards. So back-to-back big runs, picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
They didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true. Offensive linemen still, to this day, they want to run the football.
And we'll get this into the end zone for a Jaguar touchdown. 25 yards. And the Jaguars drive right down the field and score on the opening drive. Hopkins with the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Fielded about a yard deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line.
Here we go. Like 5-4. I got one.
The first carry for the former Nittany Lion. This is Saquon Barkley. And he'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6. On 2nd down, here's Barkley. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. On 3rd down, it's Prescott. And he's got Lockett. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. They get 14 on that one. Good for a Houston 1st down. Now, Charles, what's the mindset here offensively? You gave up the touchdown pretty quickly. Would it have changed if you had gotten a stop and it would be 0-0 right now, or no?
I wouldn't think so. I think in most cases, just down a touchdown, you know, I mean, we're just getting started here. It should be a long way to go. You think to yourself, stick with the game plan, all the things you worked on in practice. But you have some teams that when they get down, their natural tendency is to aggressively strike back. And let's see if they want to get outside of the game plan we expect and try and be aggressive on their first series.
On 2nd down now, Dobbins. And this time he's not going anywhere. They'll get him down right at the line of scrimmage. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. Prescott on 3rd and 2. It's complete to Graham.
I got you, boy.
And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 28. A first down throw for Prescott. His throw caught right around the 6. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. Call that a very strong gain of 24. They'll try and run for it with Barkley. And he fights his way into the end zone for a Texans touchdown. Taking it in from 4 yards out as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how are we going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he'd taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. They were successful last time finding the end zone on their opening drive of the season. And they'll get another shot here with a 1st and 10. And look at this. They come right back with a big shot downfield. 25 yards that time.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
And down he goes at the 49, a 3-yard pickup.
One of the things you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he get a good head of steam going.
Completes it to Samuel. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Out of the gun, Brissett. Gets this one to Hill. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. A good pickup there, 26 yards. Second quarter now from Jacksonville, and it's the Jags with the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Brissett going to lead his guys up 1st and 10. And he's a perfect 5 for 5 here to begin the game. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down. On 2nd down, Swift. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on 2nd down and short. What I like to see.
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
Now, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. And he won't be close to a 1st down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. Nothing doing on 2nd and 3rd down after that 9-yard gain on 1st. Here's Dustin Hopkins now to try the field goal. From the left hash, a chip shot here. Hopkins' kick is good. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. A good drive gets him inside the 5, but they could not punch it in.
And credit the defense, too. Make sure that happens, because that was the old bend but don't break approach. Made sure they contained them when they absolutely had to and forced the field goal attempt that went through.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
From the 27, Prescott. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Josh Allen. It'll go as a loss of about 8 as he gets in there to drop him. Third and long for Prescott. The open man is Smith. A good pickup there at 22.
And he's the epitome of what we call the move tight end, a guy that you can line up anywhere, in the slot, out wide, in tight, doesn't really matter, because he has such great skills, you want to utilize him in all aspects of your passing offense.
And there he was in the slot for the catch. A fresh set of downs on a gain of 13 there for the Texans. So in Jacksonville territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 46. Prescott from the gun. He dumps it off to Barkley. It'll be a gain of 4, and it'll be a 2nd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Prescott nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Josh Allen able to drop him that time for his 2nd sack of the evening.
Well, that's the 2nd time he's been sacked so far in the first half, and if they have designs on having a big year, on going anywhere, they've got to find a way to keep him upright so they can throw the football.
And he's going to go down again.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And this is going to be ruled out, I think, just inside the 20. Yes, it will. Side judge calls it at the 19-yard line. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
I can't believe they let you play. I can't believe they even let you play.
From the 22, Brissett, and he rifles one incomplete.
All right, that one fell incomplete there, but the best quarterbacks, they'll miss on 40% of their throws, somewhere in that neighborhood, similar to a great hitter in baseball who's going to fail 7 out of 10 times and still have a great year. In this case, you want perfection, but way better that it hits the ground instead of going to an opposite color jersey.
The Jaguars on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. From the shotgun, it's Brissett. And that will be incomplete.
Right up to that point, I was about to say he's had a pretty good half catching the football, but let's just be honest about it. He should have caught that one.
And he knows that. That was one right in his breadbasket and one he normally catches. So it looks like the offense isn't going anywhere. They're going to go for it on 4th and 7. They'll try and throw for it here. Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught. Fourth down, no problem. 19 yards that time, but now it's 1st and 10.
Jaguars, first down. 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line.
2 minutes remaining in the first half. 10-7, our score. A reminder coming up at halftime, it's the season debut of the coach, Jonathan Coachman, in Orlando, as we look ahead to all the action coming up this opening weekend. And of course, we'll also take a look back at this first half. And now a throw here secured by his running back out of the backfield. That one good for a gain of 13 for Jacksonville and a first down. First down, Brissett. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 45, the 30, 10, and he will score. It's a touchdown. How about that for a little jolt right before intermission?
You talk about taking momentum into the half with you, and so many teams have an emphasis on trying to score in the last 2 minutes of a half. To carry that with them, it's not often talked about scoring on defense, though. That's extra mo.
And now they may take the lead into the locker room as well. This will be taken in at the 1. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
The Jaguars take over 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. And now with still more than a minute to go in what's been a tight game, you figure we'll try to see them move the ball downfield.
Remember, they get the kickoff to start the second half, so this is a golden opportunity for them to go down there and put up a couple of sixes back-to-back. What a momentum swing that would be.
Yeah, you might be able to get a 2-for-1 without ever even giving up the football.
Mike. In the face. 53 is the Mike. 53 is the Mike.
On second down, Brissett again. They'll rifle this one deep right side. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Brissett. Finding Knox there, complete. And he's into the clear. Touchdown, Jaguars. Dawson Knox, 78 yards. And once again, the Jaguars are back out in front. Well, that's pretty impressive, Charles. It's one thing to be an elite speed wide receiver and have all that yards after the catch into the end zone, but from your tight end?
Yeah, you don't get that very often. What you're describing is more like a Tyreek Hill, a Devontae Adams, and Antonio Brown. You're not talking about a guy that lines up or can line up in line and look like an extra tackle on running plays. He took that bad boy downfield just like he was a scat back.
Before the game, he told me, I'm going to have a zinger or two today. And I was like, oh, a zinger or two? I guess that's a zinger, right?
That's a zinger.
They'll start out on the ground. It's Saquon Barkley. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a tick under a minute to go before half. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now Saquon Barkley. He's got a first down and then some at midfield. And I think he's going to go. They're not going to get him. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. Saquon Barkley. Already his 2nd touchdown here in this opening weekend. And the Texans have once again taken the lead. Crosby connects on the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away.
The Jaguars take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. Inside of a minute left in the half, does the fact that you're down on the scoreboard influence what you do, or I guess don't do on this final drive?
It certainly does, but what influences me even more is who I've got.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 26. And he will take it across midfield and down to the 45.
You're trailing, you're trying to get points late in half. I absolutely understand that. But remember, it's all about the ball. And without the ball, you can't get those points. They just turned it over.
Now you got to be careful because that deficit can get a little bigger on the other side with that good field position they just took over with. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
You go 46.
Prescott. Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. The Texans going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down. From the shotgun, it's Prescott. And that is caught. Touchdown, Texans. Jakeem Grant there to make the grab. And the Texans push further out in front. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here in the second quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the second half.
This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on first down, and it's something that's safe. It's something that's been done many times before.
And that's caught inside the 30. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. So that changes things in a big way. Now from all the way down inside the 30, here's 1st and 10. The set now. Got his man, it's caught. Touchdown, Jaguars. Tyreek Hill in the final seconds of the first half as his guys are back within a single score. Well, this could be a big turnaround. They get the touchdown here in the final moments of the second quarter. And remember, Charles, they're going to get the ball to start quarter number 3 as well.
So what you're saying is if they take the ball down to start the second half and score again, it could change the entire complexion of this game, couldn't it?
Absolutely. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn into a big play. That's what you usually run in this situation.
Or go 4 verticals because why not?
Because you're feeling it, right? You're just feeling it.
So we have reached halftime here in the Thursday night opener as we send you a couple hours south of here to Orlando. That's where we check in with a coach and our EA Sports halftime report.
Good work, boys. Let's go. Let's go.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. They have the lead now. They'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
Let's see if they do just that. 7 yards there and a first down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Prescott looks to throw on first. And his throw is going to be incomplete. Tyler Lockett was the target there. And that'll bring up second down. Defensively, celebration time because they finally forced an incompletion. He was perfect throwing the ball to that point.
Yeah, but from his viewpoint, they didn't force the incompletion. He just missed. That's how hot he is right now, and that's how he wants to continue to throw the ball.
Throwing again. Prescott on 2nd and 10. He's going to float this over the middle. Got a man. It's caught inside the 10. Touchdown, Houston. Jakeem Grant, already his 2nd touchdown here in this opening weekend. And the Texans push further out in front. Crosby with the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. This is taken at the 3. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And their halftime hole now even deeper. And they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them. And that's caught inside the 35. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Curtis Samuel, 77 yards, as his guys are back within a single score.
When you're thinking about your opening drive in the third quarter, you're thinking about exactly that, putting together a drive. But instead, what did we get?
Big pass downfield, touchdown. I thought, okay, just sitting back in my chair, let's get eased in, a couple runs. No, boom.
Yeah, forget the body blows, folks. Let's throw the big shot right now.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. They were able to extend their lead with an opening drive touchdown here in the third quarter, but that just got matched a moment ago.
So we know that what they discussed at the half worked. Now, what are the counters to that, right? You don't just run the same things over and over. Some do, but many will also show something and then come back with something else to keep the defense off balance.
On 2nd and 9, Prescott. This complete to Lockett. A big one there for the Texans, 18 yards.
Let's go, team. Gonna be a long day offense.
A first down carry for Barkley. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. 15 yards, the Texans pick up the first down. So in Jacksonville territory now. Here's a 1st and 10, right at the 40. And again this time to the tailback. They're able to push forward for about 4 down to the 37.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
On 2nd down now, Barkley. And he'll go down at the 28. That one a first down pickup of 8.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
So a solid run by Saquon Barkley and another 1st and 10 here. That's going to be caught. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. A very solid gain of 27. They come out here in the eye. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he gets into the end zone. Touchdown, Houston. punching it in from a yard away. And the Texans push further out in front. A good, sustained drive there in this third quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice 2-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
This is taken at the 3. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line.
The Jaguars take over first and 10 at their own 28-yard line.
The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. And following that long touchdown pass, a one-play drive last time, see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time. I mean, that's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind you. That's the cardinal sin of defense, not giving up the long pass. They did. Let's see how they adjust.
Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. That one good for a gain of 13 for Jacksonville and a first down. Now a first down run is going nowhere. He's going to be dropped in the backfield, a loss of 2. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to second down. On second and 12, Brissett. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's third down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
He's going to fire one deep over the middle, and that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's fourth down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. Now, meanwhile, they go for it on fourth down, and my goodness, incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And this Texans defense stands tall. So from the 36 now, first and 10. They begin with a run by Barkley.
You ain't doing nothing today.
And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
Well, we saw them there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later. That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
Here we go. Slide in. Check right 54. Right 54. I got you.
Prescott from the gun on third. They'll get this out to Barkley complete. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. And I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, being rightly cautious with that lead here in the second half. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. A big roll of the dice on 4th and 1, but it pays off. They convert. One quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. The fourth down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down. Now it's Barkley. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up second down.
Here we go. Slide in.
Mike 54.
Here we go. Kill.
Screen.
Hey, kill. 40.
Now on second and 13. Prescott. It's caught. Lockett. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. 22 yards there. A first down.
And
And defensively, they just don't seem to have much of an answer for this passing game.
Not at all. And look at the confidence that's exhibited here. With that type of a lead, clock on their side, instead of running it, they're still throwing it, trying to pick up first downs and keeping the football.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Well, no doubt here in the fourth quarter, this is a huge defensive series.
Hey, they can read the scoreboard. They realize if they give up a field goal here, this game might be out of reach. They understand the stakes and are playing accordingly.
A tough run gets him just inside the 10 to the 9, but no further. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter. The Texans on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3. They'll try to run for it with Barkley. And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a 4th down.
Now that was a big-time play by the defense. They as well knew where the first down line was, and they didn't let them get anywhere near it.
Now Mason Crosby on for the field goal. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. And the 14-year trusty veteran able to knock it through. And that will make this now a 15-point advantage. So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but it's still ate up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held him to... And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked up by Fabian Moreau. Both defenses have had their struggles, but they've been good enough to get them this lead, and another nice play there to help preserve the lead.
It's been a game of punch-counter-punch, hasn't it? All throughout. But this time, the big swing was taken, and it didn't land. Nice play by them on defense.
Good starting field position for the Houston Texans here as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 46. Nifty running by Barkley there on 1st down. He scoots forward for 7 yards, sets him up nicely, 2nd and 3. They'll go to Barkley again. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's 3rd down.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
The Texans on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. 2 yards and able to get the first down in the process. Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll try to throw now. Prescott. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked up by Jonathan Jones. 2-score game here in the 4th, and that pick, it kind of keeps the door ajar, doesn't it?
It does, and you wonder about their strategy because with a 2-score lead, you would think maybe you're just sitting on and trying to drain some clock. It's almost like they felt like, hey, we've got a good cushion. We can keep pressing it.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Tyreek Hill. Already his 2nd touchdown here in this opening weekend. As they're now just an extra point away from getting back within 1 score. Here we go now as we get set for a big 2-point conversion. Brissett sets to throw it. And he's got it. And he will get into the end zone to cut the lead a little bit further. This game back within a touchdown now as the kickoff's away. This will be taken in at the 1. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line.
At their own 24-yard line.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. I'm curious to see, Charles, about the play calling on this drive. Last time out, the interception that led to a touchdown. Here we are. I mean, very close, one-score game.
Yeah, and if I'm a defender, I'm actually chirping Chili on the other side of the ball, saying, hey, we picked off the last one. What you going to do about it now? So when you do throw the football, high percentage, but throw it with confidence. Because if there's any hesitancy at all, it could end up in enemy's hands again.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
Pick it up, defense. Let's go.
There we go. Kill.
Throwing. Prescott. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked up by Jonathan Jones. And he's able to get it back to the 41-yard line. A critical error there in a tight game of the fourth.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the fourth quarter, turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the fourth quarter with a lead, no matter at what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful, and sometimes you can be so careful that you end up running yourself into an error.
That one goes for 30 yards. A first down throw for Brissett. Got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Jaguars. Curtis Samuel, already his 2nd touchdown here in this opening weekend, as they can now even this game here in the fourth quarter with the extra point.
I know Paul Revere talked about by land or by sea, right? You know, 1 by land, 2 by sea. He didn't mention air because right now we're seeing a big-time performance, aren't we? That's 2 touchdowns so far in this game.
Where'd you pull that one from?
And, you know, every now and then I actually listened in history class.
And you're just a scholar all the way around. You're reading all the time. I like that you fit that into the broadcast.
You know, I just grab a nugget when I can.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. We have seen a lot of points here in this quarter. For us up here in the booth, it's been fun to watch. The defensive coordinators probably scratching their heads.
Yeah, they're going a little bit crazy right now, but let's face it, all of our friends who play fantasy, they're enjoying the heck out of this show because most of them are creating and getting a bunch of points.
Yeah, points certainly not at a premium here. Getting down to the good stuff, all tied with 2 minutes remaining on EA Sports. So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Again, it's Barkley. And they're able to get this one across the 35. That's good for a Texan first down, a 12-yard pickup. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Prescott to throw. Complete. Smith has it. Give him 17 on the pickup there, and the Texans also get a new set of downs. Prescott now 13 of 16 throwing the football. It's 1st and 10. Out of the shotgun, they run with Barkley. Oh, no, he lost the football. But this will get out of bounds, so possession will stay the same.
I don't know about you, but I could hear and feel the sigh of relief all the way up here in our booth.
That was palpable. The sideline, the friend there.
No doubt about it. Ball goes over the sideline, able to retain possession, no turnover. I know his coaches are screaming, just hang on to the ball, man.
So they need to determine if that knee was down before the ball was coughed up.
And they also wanted to make sure that the ball was possessed as they were going through, that the ball wasn't working its way free before the knee hit the ground.
Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go in the football game. first down. Dobbins. And a solid run down inside the 30. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
The 29-yard line. A 6-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 4.
Now here's a timeout, as they will indeed call it with 5 seconds to go and a chance with a field goal to win the game. So the game here hangs on the right foot of Mason Crosby. And the clock will now stop as a timeout is called with 5 seconds left. So the game here hangs on the right foot of Mason Crosby. He's hit on his one earlier attempt tonight, but this a little more pressure-packed for the win. And it's off the left upright. Oh, my goodness. Heartache. It's no good. If the team that receives the ball scores a touchdown, it's over. If they don't, we can still have some more football.
That's exactly right. If they go down and kick a field goal, the other team gets a possession to either match it or score a touchdown to win the ball game. If both teams kick field goals, the next team to score wins. But if the receiving team throws a pick six or fumbles the ball and it gets picked up by the defense and they score, the game is over at that point.
So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. They're set for their first drive here in overtime, and this is where the crowd can really become a factor.
They've had to battle it all day, but I know what you're saying. In overtime, that gets doubled, doesn't it? At least, because now the crowd really wants to be involved and help their team, and that first drive can dictate the whole thing because they know if this team takes it downfield and scores a touchdown, it's game over.
It's been loud in here so far. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. They'll try the right side here. Barkley. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead them to 3rd down. As a fan of the NFL, for an opener, you can't ask for much more than this overtime in Week 1.
I know it's hard to believe that some people may not have been watching our game, but I'll bet through social media they found out this one was snug and getting into overtime, and they flipped over here in a hurry. This is fantastic. If you're a fan of ball, you love these types of games.
And that's caught by Smith. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 45-yard line. That last pass puts him over 300 yards now in the game. More importantly, though, big first down here in OT.
And the team around him has a lot of confidence now after picking up that first down. Everyone seems a little more energized. But did I hear you before the game call in and say, this is my quarterback for your fantasy league? Because he just gave you a good stat, didn't he?
He did, and I appreciate it. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Now Prescott. Out to the right, he gets it to Lockett. Flashed the stick skills, but didn't get a ton from it. Stopped short of the 35. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6. Two minutes left in this overtime session, and still all tied. Hoping to keep this OT drive alive. Now they face a 3rd and 2. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
Well, partner, what do you think? Might have been 4-down territory if they didn't pick it up, but...
Yeah, it's a moot point now. I was curious, so if they didn't get it there, would they have gone for it? I guess we'll never know.
Yeah, we didn't have to make that call, but I have a feeling both of us would have said, go for it.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
I'm coming.
Out of the gun, here's Prescott. Oh, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Malcolm Jenkins. And he's going to take this one back to the 37-yard line. A costly mistake here in OT.
And you know what they say, when you throw an interception like that in overtime, you don't usually get a chance to throw a second one. I mean, I'm not sure the analytics on it. So that's Marvin, our statistician, to ring that down for us. That's typically how coaches and teams feel about it. If you throw one, you likely cost yourself the game.
And throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. Here's Brissett. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. From the gun, here's Brissett. That's going to be caught by Samuel. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Open man is Samuel, complete. And he lost the football. And the Texans scoop it. And he's able to bring it out 5 yards shy. Midfield to the 45-yard line. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And with 3 interceptions thrown already, we'll see. Do they rely more on the ground game here?
They may have to change things offensively to try and settle things down, not just for the guy throwing the ball, but for the rest of the offensive unit, because their confidence has to be shaken a little bit. And you just wonder, is the backup going to start to warm up a little bit over on the sideline?
Now this throw caught left side. Now another timeout called for by the offense. They'll be left with just 1 remaining here at OT. They'll run on 1st down. Dobbins, and he'll be taken down at the 33, a pickup of about 4. They'll keep it on the ground. Dobbins. Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be 3rd down. Now we're going to get a timeout with 5 seconds left here in overtime.
Get him, boy! Get him, boy!
So the game here hangs on the right foot of Mason Crosby. Now we're going to get a timeout with 5 seconds left here in overtime. So the game here hangs on the right foot of Mason Crosby. This to win it in overtime. And he got it. The kick is good in overtime. He's able to split the uprights. We were just treated to an absolute dandy in this one. A great finish in overtime with a long field goal. Everybody, including us, on the edge of their seats. Quite a game. And it's rare that you get a game into overtime that it doesn't turn out to be a dandy, right? That's what we saw here. And just what you were talking about. A long field goal to win it, so definitely not a gimme. So there was tension all the way through until the ball went through the post. But it did go through the post. Ice water was in his veins. So for Houston, they start the season with a great win on the road here in the Thursday opener. And they'll get a few extra days to get ready for next week. Meanwhile, for the Jaguars, they obviously fall to 0-1 with the defeat. And they'll look to get back in the winning column next week as they head to Foxborough to face off against the New England Patriots. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.
numbers, big numbers. 100 in the bag, that's a big number. Big numbers, big numbers. Whole team counted, that's a big number.
Hey, foreign cars, foreign seats with the foreign leather. Foreign number, put the card in the ATM in the sad era. Yeah.